I'm supposed to go?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was awesome.
I'm the man, dude.
Let's introduce the show before you just start fucking yapping away.
You're looking at the undercard comedy store roast battle legend 15-0
champion, not legend.
There's been some posts that have said legend. Okay, there's been some roasting legend posts. Champion, yeah, whatever you want to call it. I'm the best.
Okay, welcome to Low Effort, High Reward. With me, Alex Holliday, and fucking
Dorgat, the world famous flashback open mic, and me, John Luna, undercard roast battle champion of the world.
It's fucking Narcissus over here.
Absolute giant, absolute behemoth.
And everybody, welcome to the show, door guy for the world famous Jokes Ahoy show, Luke Binkow.
Glad to be here.
Sucks. Oh shit!
No. After I gave my heart and soul.
Damn.
Yeah, I meant to do applause, but it was on the wrong side of the soundboard.
Damn, that sucks.
Dude,
yeah, it's good to be here though.
See, I clicked the right
Great.
one. That's enough applause for you.
I'll take it. That's the most I've gotten.
So this is kind of we're kind of doing an emergency pod here. This is our first emergency pod. So
yeah, we are gathered here today. Yeah, not just to talk about my roast battle championship.
Almost not at all to talk about that.
I would go as far as say not at all. Now I see why you need an emergency pod. You're like, we need to talk about my win. Dude.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good win. It was a solid win. It was honestly, some people are saying it's an easy win.
Dude, I'd never say something like that. I respect all my opponents.
Yeah.
Except the first one at the comedy store that I faced. That guy was gay. It was Alex.
Oh yeah, that was. God damn it.
That's brutal.
Damn it! I thought it was that one guy that they made you battle.
Jose? No,
yeah.
it was Fiona before, and then you.
Oh yeah,
after.
it was Fiona before. Okay.
It's actually good that he's the champion now because you know how people say if you're gonna lose, you might as well lose to the person who wins it all. It's not like you lost to the champ.
Yeah, I know that, and I also, in a lot of ways, don't care about any of that.
Yeah. In other ways, I'm sure you do.
I truly care about John's roasting record more than my own.
Yeah, you can tell from the record.
I was trying to be nice there and you to be like, wow, thanks, but you were just a fucking
thanks.
dick about it.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm undefeated and you're literally, I think, defeated, right?
Yeah, I'm not undefeated. I'm unvictoried.
But no, Alex is truly the mind behind some of my best jokes. So, Avatar'd against Guam, that was all Alex, I will say.
Oh, that was against Guam. That is super funny.
Yeah. Guam is 50 years old and he's been homeless twice, so 25 years each time. And his official address is the LA County prison because it's the only place he's ever lived for more than 3 months. Yeah, Alex writes the roast battles when they're good, and then when they're bad, I go with my own jokes, like the Alyssa one. I was like, I got this. And then Mike Lawrence was like, "You're fucking stupid." Did you watch that whole roast battle from the whole show?
I watched.
You got a prime spot.
Yeah, it was great. It was one of those things where I could sense that everyone wanted me to move, and it was like, nope,
yeah,
but you're so little.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. I was like, I'm little and whatever, and I was here early. Sorry guys, sucks to suck.
Yeah, he got kicked out before.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you kind of snuck your way in.
Yeah, he was there so early. Guam was like,
I was allowed in. Yeah, and then he was like, "Are you a comic?" And I was like, "Yeah." Get the fuck out. I was like, "All right."
You're like, "Are you?"
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I am. He's like, "Great, get the fuck out of here." I was like, "Okay, cool."
It's like wrong answer.
Yeah, it was like,
Are
wow,
you
I wish
sure?
I didn't say that. Yeah, I'm like, well, actually, I'm not really.
Yeah. Actually,
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, because I tried to walk in and then Felicia was like, "Didn't he tell you can't go in?" And I was like, "I'm on the show." And she's like, "Okay."
She asked what my name was, and I was like, Luke, and then she just started dying laughing for 35 seconds.
Oh yeah. No, that's
because of Luke Schwartz, probably.
She was just like, "Why are all these little white boys named Luke?"
Oh
yeah. I don't know.
Ask
because
Luke's
Lucas
mom.
Hurl, Luke Schwartz, yeah.
And Luke Walls was on that.
Oh, I see. You should have been like Luke. That's probably why she let you up the first time.
No. I was like, I'm just going to hang out there. She was like, all right, go ahead. And I came back and she instantly was like, oh, did Guam kick you out? I was like, you didn't think that was
Yeah. Dude, Guam is like a fucking territorial wild animal with the roast battle green room.
He runs a tight ship though.
Yeah.
Respect to Guam. Shout out Guam. Me and him are best friends. So.
You got a lot of stuff to learn from Guam to bring to Jokes Ahoy.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I am the Guam of Jokes Ahoy though. Technically.
Yeah, but Guam's way too tough to ever compare you to.
Yeah, I'm like Guam, but stronger and bigger and nicer.
Yeah, you're like kind of like sometimes like when Cooper works like the front patio, I'm like. So it's like him versus like the world. Like he's protecting.
Who are you gonna stop?
Like he's protecting the Comedy Store. But now they have like the big security guards in the wall. It was actually funny because one time he was doing that and some guy like threatened him literally was like, I'm gonna bring a gun because like it was like when they were doing Vax cards and Cooper was like, you need your Vax card, and the guy was like, okay, I'm gonna bring a gun and shoot you. But it was like very like cool to see because like Matt Lockwood and
it was cool to see that.
No, because Matt and Quincy were there and Anthony, and Cooper was like, okay, like I know that I'm small, but I will call someone much bigger than me. And then Matt Lockwood and Quincy walked up, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a brotherhood over there.
They had his back
until they all get shot and die. But yeah.
Anyway, so
okay, John's gonna make it about him again.
Dude, that's why we're doing this.
You gotta announce why it's the emergency pod. This is all a tangent from explaining why it's an emergency.
Yeah, we're like 40 minutes in. That we tend to have we tend to have an idea and then be like and then not talk about it the whole time.
So why are we doing this podcast today, John?
So because I got stung by a stingray.
Damn, that sucks.
All right, podcast over, guys. That's been.
What did the stingray, dude? When the stingray stung me, he was like,
"We're going sicko mode, motherfucker."
Yeah, that is what I said.
And then he fucking stung me, and I was like,
Jesus Christ.
Dude, soundboards, we're getting used to it now.
Literally the first thing I said to him was like, ooh, that sucks. That's going to ruin your day.
Yes.
Like,
so I've been, honestly, since I've met Luke, and he was like, you guys have heard him talk, since he talked to me like that, I was like, can you teach me to surf? and then he was like,
cha, bruh.
He was like, yeah, I surf. And then last night, because he like, always played it down to me, like he like always would like lie about it because he doesn't want to teach me. And then yesterday CJ Price was there, and then they like actually talked about surfing. He's like, oh yeah, I'd surf all the time, like was like totally saying how much he surfs.
But that's the thing, man, you can't just because somebody does something doesn't mean they want to teach you it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, well the thing is I'm down to teach anyone to surf. I'm always down, but it's one of those things of like, you live in, like, what am I going to do? Like, just meet up at your house with all these surfboards and, like, lug you out there and, like, have to keep you alive and stuff? Like, you could die out there.
No, but when you're doing a favor for somebody, you make them do all the work. So, like, you make John come here, pick up the surfboards. So that's how you should do it.
True.
That's a good point.
So, last night I was like, he's like, I'm watching the house. And I was like, oh, okay, like, what if I go to your house, we sleep over after third wheel, and then we go surfing in the morning?
And great idea. I thought it was a joke.
I'm honestly just surprised that either of you guys woke up early enough to go surfing.
Dude, we went to bed at 4 a.m. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story that we got to also address.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, we're going to talk about
I
it.
don't want to talk about it.
Let's get through one thing at a time.
Yeah,
here,
we'll
folks.
circle back to that.
So John was at the beach looking at titties, and then he stepped on a stingray.
I knew it was real though, because Luke like looked at the waves on his phone, and I was like, oh, okay, he's actually down to go surfing tomorrow. Like he was on that wave app.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because when John said, like, he was like, why wouldn't I just sleep over and we go surfing? And, like, I was really searching for a reason to say no, but, like, I didn't really have a reason. Because I had to get up early and, like, walk my dogs and shit. So I was like, I mean, I will be up, I guess. And, like, you could.
He really just, like, fucking made you, called your bluff on it, really.
Yeah, 100% called my bluff. And then I was like, all right, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to go surfing. It'll be an experience. Totally was.
Yeah, so we went out there once. We did a little bit of surf lesson. Luke was like, here's how you stand on the board. He was actually very good. He was helping me out. I felt bad because I was like, now I get like, when I go like, let's go surfing, it's not being like, let's go surfing like one of your friends that knows how to surf. It's like, let's go and have you hold my hand through surfing.
You didn't think that's what it was going to be?
No, I knew, but then
I thought that you were going to like just hold the board and like get the knowledge of how to surf.
No, but then I put myself in his shoes, or like if his friend who like knew how to surf was like, let's go, he'd be like, yeah, like that would be so much fun. But for me, like he's working.
Yeah.
And I like it though.
Okay. And so we did one like out, one in, like I like caught a couple waves, like Luke definitely pushed me into them, but we like caught a couple, and like, I was like, we're doing it. then we like took a little, we like even like paddled far out. It was like dope. It was very calm, you know, great surfing. And then we came back, you know, I texted you, you know, like, I don't know what I'm doing tonight, you know, like on our, you know, and then we're like, all right, let's go back out again. Like, let's do another like 45-minute sesh, and then we'll get out to get some burritos and we'll go home, you know. And we went out immediately, like probably within 30 feet from the shore. Like, I'm like, I feel it. I'm like, ah.
Well, I also mentioned to you earlier when we were first out there, I was like, yeah, this is where you want to be for the waves. Like, don't be here. Like, go paddle over there.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, like, if there's stingrays around, so, like, shuffle your feet and, like, stingrays will stay away. And you were like, whoa, what? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I was like, just like getting stung by a stingray, you know, it's not like you'll be fine, but it'll totally ruin your day. Like, it would suck.
Have you been stung?
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen people get stung and like really big, strong, burly guys like drop to their knees, like crying, and like people get fucked up. It's like a range of how bad you can get stung.
I've only seen people get stung really bad.
Yeah.
Like I've only seen people get stung where they have like that, they put your foot in a bucket and the whole bucket is filled with blood. It's like spilling out like red water. And I'm like, oh, that looks like the worst thing ever. I'm never going to go in the ocean again.
I mean, I was bleeding? So I get stung, and I look at Luke, and I'm just like, dude, I got stung by a stingray. And he's like, nah, right? And I was like, no, like we need to do something about this. And I like got on the board and kind of turned around, and I was like, look at my foot. Like I didn't even want to look at it. I was like, is it like bleeding? Like is like, am I dying? Like is there a barb stuck out of my foot? And he's like, yep, you got stung by a stingray. And I was like, oh no. And he's just like, this is gonna be bad, like this is gonna suck. And I'm like, no, dude. And I'm like, am I gonna be okay? And he's like, yeah, you'll be fine, but like this is gonna be bad, like you're gonna have a bad day. And so he pulled me into shore, and like I didn't want to touch the ground with my feet because I was so scared. So it was like literally until like the surfboard was like level with the sand on the shore that I like got out.
Well, also you're leaving out some key parts
okay,
where you're like basically crying. Like, oh my god! I'm like, are you actually crying? Because also it's like we're in the water, so it's wet, so I can't see if there are like tears coming out. I'm like, are you actually crying right now? Does it hurt a lot? You're like, no, it doesn't hurt, but like I don't want to have a bad day. I'm like, gonna have a bad day, dude. I have to tell you, it's gonna suck. I'm like, does it hurt? You're like, no, it doesn't. And then you like put it down for a second. Like, oh no, yeah, it totally. Okay, and then he's like, so what now? I'm like, I got to talk to a lifeguard. And you're like, no. And I'm like, it's like the embarrassment is what really got to you. And you're like, no.
Honestly, yeah, I was like, don't tell him. And then we like walked onto the shore, and then honestly, the sand was so hot too. I was like, that was worse. Yeah. And then the lifeguard was right there, and then I was like, ask him, and you're like, oh shit. Like I was,
yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, and basically I was like, yo, my friend got stung by a stingray, and this like big, like exactly what you'd picture, like the classic, like Tom Selleck lifeguard looking guy. Like,
he had like a white like sunscreen on his nose.
Did you ask him for some extra sunscreen for your arms, or you just let those burn?
No, yeah, they got real burnt. I got so burnt, dude. I didn't put on any sunscreen. But so I say to this guy like, yo, my friend got stung by a stingray, and he like turns around and like looks at us and is like, damn.
He literally Shane Gillis did.
Yeah, he's like, damn, that sucks. Literally.
And then he looked at me and he was like, of course you got stung, of all the people. Literally. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, I love a racist lifeguard. That's sick as hell.
And then he was like, and then Luke was like, yeah, do you have like a Band-Aid? And he's like, oh no, we have to like go to the tower to treat it. And I was like,
this is sick, and hopefully he'll never come back to the beach again.
Yeah, literally he's like, I hope you never come back.
And then we walked. So then he's like, okay, you need to like come to the center to treat it. And I was like, oh no. And he's like, it'll be fine, but yeah. And then the funny thing is he goes, how old are you? I was like, oh, I just turned 26. And he's like, okay. And then I'm like, how old are you? And he's like 43. And this guy was like ripped. I was like, what? You're 43?
Yeah, dude, if you exercise, you get muscles no matter what age you are.
No, but you could. He looked really young.
He looked like 30 max.
Yeah, and he was just like, but you know, I'm out in the sun too much. And I was like, what are we doing here?
You're like, yeah, same. That's my problem.
And then I asked him his name, and he was like, my name is Wadley.
Jesus, this is just like a made up like image of a lifeguard. Yeah. Wadley?
He might not even been a lifeguard. He might have just been a guy walking down the beach.
Yeah, in red shorts. We just stopped him.
It's really rare that you like hear a name that you've never heard before. Wadley. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine having a baby and being like, I'm going to name you Wadley.
He would. That's got to
It
be
has
insane.
to be a lifeguard. He has no choice.
Yeah, it's like when you name your kid like a stripper name or something. That joke.
It's like a lifeguard or like a nurse or something. I feel like nurses have like crazy names.
He is kind of a beach nurse.
That's racist. It's just Filipino names, man.
There was a nurse I met named Pinky. All right, like the finger? She was like the color. I was like,
So like the finger.
yeah. All right.
That's like a lifeguards are just beach nurses, though, as we've learned after today.
Oh.
No, they're like beach dickheads, bro. They're so mean. They're like nurses are more helpful.
So then he walks me to the thing, and then they're like, they have a whole thing set up. By a whole thing, they have a chair and a trash can. That says Stingray on the side.
They label the trash
Put in the
can.
picture, Isabel. And then they're like, okay, this is like super hot water. Put your foot in it.
Wait, do you think they had to label the trash can because they kept accidentally putting people's feet in regular trash cans and it was making it worse? Like, we gotta get a system here.
Just like bang out a bunch of trash and put your foot in that.
He like saw that I got a sting. He's like got on the radio like stingray bite, and he like went to the thing and was like, which one? Okay. Oh, stingray. Yep, here's the one.
Like,
and then
no, not recycled.
Well, they pull out the stingray bucket too, and they like bring it over, and they're like radioing people like, "Yeah, stingray," and then a cop walks up, and we were like,
a cop walked up, and I was like, "Oh no, the police are here!"
You're like, arrest that stingray. Get him.
Yeah, I was like, dude, go just shoot into the water right now.
Yeah, I think he was black.
Dude, and for some reason, I still felt the need to drop that my mom is a sheriff and my dad
just randomly said that.
Yeah, John will just do anything to bring that up.
I just wanted some respect from this guy because he like did not like me. Because when the cops came, I was like, oh no, the cops. And I like looked at the guy who's helping me, and he was just like, not like giving me nothing.
Because we switched guys. Wadley left.
Yeah,
but we've already established that they're racist. These lifeguards
Yeah.
are just like, good, the cops.
Brandon was kind of ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was probably white though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's probably
yeah.
just
They're
spent
all
7
tan.
days a week in the sun.
Yeah, so Brandon was helping me, and he was chill, and he was like just like very stone faced. The only thing I got out, because I kept making jokes, and the only thing I got out of him was I just went, at one point I was just like, do you like me? And then he was like,
That's a hard no.
And the funniest thing is, the moment we decided to start making jokes is when he's filling out a medical document.
Yeah.
So I think that's when he was really like, "This is not the time."
He was
to
like,
joke.
listen, man. I think it makes sense why they're so upset though, because like their job is to hang out at the beach,
No.
and you are ruining their time hanging out at the beach by getting stung.
yeah, one of the
He's like, I was just chilling out here, and I gotta fucking help you.
there was this third guy that came, and at the end when he was done helping us, it was so funny because he was like, all right, man, like you can go now. And he like walked into the office, and he was holding one box of popsicles and one box of drumstick ice cream
Oh my
cones.
God.
And I was like,
Did he give
that's
you one?
his
no, he
job.
didn't give me one. That's the thing. I was like,
Dude, those guys are
I was
there.
like, is that not for me? Like, I just went through this traumatic event.
But you can't say that. You can't be like, "Yo, dude, I need that."
One of each, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll take a popsicle.
Those guys are strictly there hoping that a hot chick needs CPR. And that's their whole like, no? Okay, well, I'm just hanging out at the beach.
We
That
were
is
pretty
true.
nice about it though, and like we understood the situation, and we're like, we're asking pretty normal questions. But I think once we started making jokes, they got pretty annoyed. Like one of the jokes we made, first of all, he's taking your name down on a medical document, and it's like, all right, like what's your name? You're like John, but like my mom is a sheriff, and my dad.
That is not when I said it.
And he's like, okay, what's your last name? It's like,
Well, then I said Luna, and he went, how do you spell that? I was like, Luna.
But so what did he say while he was getting the shit filled out?
so he was like, any allergies? And John's like, yeah, like penicillin and like something else and like amoxicillin or whatever.
You're allergic to antibiotics?
Penicillin, yeah.
Damn.
And there was something else you said, and then he's like, all right, writing it down, and then I'm like, okay, time for a joke, and I'm like, also stingrays. And he
Yeah. He did not like that when he said
stops
that.
writing.
He was like had to go into action. He was like, okay, we'll get our anti-stingray sting kit.
It
Yeah, he was going to give me an EpiPen, dude.
He's literally like filling out a medical document. Like, yeah, he's also allergic to stingrays, and he just did not find that funny.
What he should have said was, well, I'm allergic to stupid jokes.
Yeah.
Dude, I did after the fact. I text my mom, and I text her, and I go, I just got stung by a stingray, LOL. And then all she responds is, you might be allergic. If it gets bad, go to the ER. I was like, I might be allergic?
Yeah, you've got a family history of stingray allergies.
What do you mean by that?
Are you allergic to bees?
No.
Because they're like ocean bees.
Yeah.
It was funny though, because every little bit of information they would reveal would make it sound way worse than it is. And the guy's like, "Oh, what's your like pain level?" And John's like, "I don't know, like a 3." And he's like, "Oh, okay." John's like, "Yeah, that's not bad." He's like, "Yeah, it's just gonna get way worse."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, every time somebody says it's a 3, that means they lose their foot."
No, literally.
He's
yeah.
like, every minute that goes by, it's gonna go up. So I would get help.
Yeah, he was
right
like,
now.
it's gonna be worse. And then like they brought out like this really hot water like for me to put my foot in, and it was too hot for me to put my foot in, so I was like weird about it. And he's like, you need to put. He's like, if you don't put your foot in the hot water, like it's gonna be really bad. And I was like, okay. And he's like, this is not as bad as like how much it will be. I was like, okay.
It felt threatening. It felt like I'm gonna make sure that it's worse.
So if you don't put that foot in the water, I'll break your kneecaps.
And he kept asking me like every 2 minutes, like, what's it at now? What's that now? So I was like scared because he's like, it's going up. Yeah. Like I don't know, I just like got nervous.
We wasn't sure if you were allergic to stingrays or not.
That is true because Luke said he was allergic to stingrays.
Yeah, true. That definitely threw him off. And then he put the like he was taking your blood levels and some of your oxygen level and your whatever the thing around your arm, your
blood pressure.
Blood pressure, yeah. And he like puts it on. And he's like, "Hey, can you like relax?" And you're like, "How am I gonna relax? I just got stung by a stingray." And it was like deadpan, like no reaction.
I mean, it's insane how you're like, these guys were so rude, and you're just being like so sassy to people trying to help you.
Because we were trying to be
I wasn't being sassy. I was just trying to be fun, and like it really hurt a lot. I did get to drop Skyrizi because he was like, "Are you on any medication?" I was like, "Yeah, Skyrizi."
And he was like, "Okay, clearly another joke."
Yeah, he did pause. He did pause.
Was like,
I remember he was like, "How do you spell it?"
He said, "How do you spell that?" I was like, "Sky, R-I-Z-I." And then he's like, "What's that for?" And then I was like, "My skin disease." And he goes, "Okay, what is that?" Like he was so like he was not like even that he was like wasn't having it.
Well, I mean, you should have just said for psoriasis.
I didn't know, man.
I think after
he's like skin disease. What do you have? The Michael Jackson disease?
He did say that.
And you go, "No, I don't want to fuck kids." That's the disease he had.
I think after a couple jokes, he felt like we were setting him up. Everything we said to him, it felt like it was a setup.
Well, because from the sound of it, you were setting him up with everything you said.
Yeah, my skin disease, fucking get bitches disease, dude.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You think Skyrizi's real? You're an idiot.
Are you on any medication? I'll be puffing them fat clouds from time to time.
Yeah, I sit mad lean and take Perkies and stuff, but like, is that? It's like I took 11 Percocet before going surfing. I don't know if that's bad.
Nothing prescribed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know that Future song, Mask Off? Yeah, I took some Molly and some Percocet before coming to the beach today.
I'm like, I don't know. I took some uppers because to come out to the beach tonight.
It's like,
after all this adrenaline, I'm gonna need some downers. You know what I'm saying?
You got anything, dude? Like, what's the deal?
Why? What you got?
Yeah, he's like on any medication. I was like, no.
Yeah, but I could be.
It's like you ask you. I'm down, dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then this other guy walked up. I never got his. Oh, also I kept asking Brandon how old he was because I was so fascinated that Wadley was 43. And like I brought it up, I asked him and he like did not tell me. And then I was like, dude, because like how old do you think that guy was? I asked Luke and he was like 30, and I was like 43, and he's like, whoa. So then I was like, yeah, so how old are you? And then he was just like would not tell us.
Didn't even answer. Didn't
and
respond.
then I was like 27, and he was like, yeah.
Dude, yeah, what is wrong with these people, man?
And then he said yeah, and then John was like, "Oh my god, really?" And there's like silence. Trying to bond over anything, and it's like just giving him nothing.
The reason I brought up that my dad's a firefighter is I was trying to bond because I was like, that's kind of like lifeguards.
It's like an ocean.
It's water versus fire.
Yeah, exactly.
But you also, your foot is in a bucket that says Stingray, which is almost like it's probably to label the trash, but it's also just to humiliate whoever got stung by a stingray.
It's not humiliating.
Everyone who walked by,
badass though.
They treated it like it was humiliating. Everyone who walked by was like, "Oh, you stung by a stingray," and you're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yikes!"
Yeah, this girl.
That's sympathy.
This girl walked up and she goes, "Stingray, they got those here too." I was like, okay. And then I was like, she's like, hot water? I was like,
you should have been like, no, it was down there in the water.
I was like, she's like, hot water because my frozen, and I was like, yeah. And she's like, 40 minutes, and then just walked away. I was like,
yeah, all these people are seasoned stingray sting veterans.
I was like, okay. And then the other lifeguard walks up and he was just like, stingray. I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, cool. And then he was just like asking me like, so you close to here? And I was like, yeah, it's like 15 minutes away. I didn't want to like drop the Palisades. I was nervous. And then, oh, you know, it was also funny that he didn't like us. He's like, what's your phone number? And I was like, 951. Yikes. And the guy just like deadpan.
I don't even know
not
what
giving me anything.
Yeah, but nobody knows area codes.
In Huntington, they're really racist against people from Riverside. So I thought maybe in Santa Monica it was the same thing.
In Santa Monica, no one knows any area code outside of 310 because those people don't deserve to have phones.
Oh yeah, like when I moved to Huntington Beach, my area code used to be 909 when I was a kid, and like I saw graffiti that said like 909ers go home.
Hell yeah.
I also like how you say that Huntington Beach people are racist against people from Riverside versus just like racist.
Yeah, you could have just cut it off that people are racist.
It's actually against Mexicans from the Inland Empire.
Yeah,
to be more correct.
But yeah, you were making all these jokes, and then he was like, yeah, and what town is that? And you're like, Huntington Beach, represent. It was like with you sitting with your stingray bucket. Like, God damn, you are representing, dude.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then
the other guy came up.
Yeah, the other guy was just asking questions. Like, he's like, "How far are you?" He's like, "Yeah," because sometimes we get people who are like 2 hours away, and like they like, and we need to like them to like drive home. Because then Luke walked up, and the guy goes, "So you guys are gonna need to leave?" And we're like, "Yeah, like we're not just gonna hang out here."
He was like, but he said it like it was gonna be like, he was like, "Do you have a car?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, good." I was like, "Why? Like, where do I need to go?" Like thinking he's gonna be like, "You should probably go to the ER. Like this is bad." And he was like, I was like, "Where do I go?" He was like, "Home." Yeah, obviously home. And he's like, "Yeah, like now, like get out."
They kept saying, it was just so weird because they were so calm and like apathetic. Like they were like, "Yeah, like this is like you'll be fine, whatever." And then they were like, "So where are you parked?" And I was like, "Oh, like down there a little bit." And then he was like, "Yeah, you should probably get your friend to bring the car over so you don't have to walk." I was like, "How bad is this? Like, is this not bad, or is it like I can't walk?"
He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" But like, have him help you a lot.
Yeah, because he's like, "You guys need to leave," but also like, you can't walk and you're gonna have to soak your foot for hours.
Yeah, we were like, "How long?" He was like, "It'll be like a couple hours." And I was like, "You mean like 2?" He was like, "I mean, I've had things that last like 20 minutes, but the last one I had lasted like 6 hours."
Wait, I don't even so because I looked at your foot.
Yeah.
And there is truly nothing wrong with it.
No, there's a little spot of like bruise.
But it's like smaller than what would happen if you got stung by a bee on your foot. But it's like the poison in there.
You know, honestly, given your hero in life, Steve Irwin, it's crazy that you would downplay a stingray.
No, I just know how serious it can be. So I'm like, you're fucking walking around, man. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm stronger than
you. Kind of are the Steve Irwin.
Well, I don't think the barb would have made it all the way to your heart if it got you in the chest. That would be one thick ass barb. The stingray's got a fucking katana on its tail.
But you are like low key the Steve Irwin of our generation, technically.
Yeah.
You guys are being so disrespectful right now.
I'm just glad
Put up the picture of me and Steve Irwin. Thank you, Isabel.
Did you get a picture with him?
Yeah, and he died the next year, and I cried a lot.
Dude,
I've lost family members that I was less sad about.
Because why do you like Steve Irwin so much?
He was my like idol growing up.
Honestly, I am happy I didn't die mostly, and I was like, afraid to tell you.
Oh, nice.
Because it was like, dude, what if both of Alex's heroes died from a stingray? That'll be rough,
no,
dude.
You would be
Tony
like,
Hawk's still alive. Put up a picture of me and Tony Hawk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Put a picture of me and Tony Hawk. I'll send that also.
Oh yeah, dude.
Photoshop a photo of me with Tony Hawk.
That's hilarious that your two idols are Tony Hawk and Steve Irwin.
When I was a kid, for sure, yeah.
What is so cool about Steve Irwin? Like, he's just chill?
He catches lizards and snakes.
All right.
And lizards and snakes are dope as fuck, man.
Okay. I mean, Dog the Bounty Hunter catches people. So.
Yeah, he catches people that smoke meth. People that smoke meth suck. Dude, snakes are so much cooler than people who smoke meth.
Debatable, but okay.
I'll no, we won't debate you.
Alex really loves catching lizards.
Yeah, but I always say this. You know how everyone's supposed to like, everyone like has like one talent that they're like intrinsically like better than everyone else at.
Mine is comedy.
Put that clip up.
Cut that out. Actually, cut that out for real.
No, mine is catching lizards. Truly.
What's your approach? Is really slow and you like jump at them at the last second?
It depends. It depends where they are, what they're on. One of my favorites is
What they're on, like meth?
Yeah, dude, meth lizards are so fast. No, but if it's like,
but when you have to take meth to catch up with them, be on the same plane.
Or you put Xanax in a cricket and then you feed them the cricket with the Xanax. And then my favorite move is you distract with the left hand and get them from behind with the right.
That is a good move.
That's my favorite move with picking up chicks.
I was gonna say that. I can't.
What's going on over here?
We're going sicko mode,
Damn it.
motherfuckers.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we are going sicko
So
mode.
this is what I say this is what the lizards say when I do that trick, where I distract them with the left hand and I get them with the right.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
That's good.
Yeah, that's actually a clip from a lizard. I recorded that.
One more thing on Steve Irwin, though. I hate to break it to you, Alex, but like, me and Steve Irwin are kind of like intrinsically like closer, like more like closer than you are with Steve Irwin now.
Technically,
No, that's not technically true.
they've shared more life experience.
Yeah,
No, I've caught a lot more lizards than John. I've caught a lot of lizards and snakes. I've
But
been
the
bit by.
stingray, that's kind of his thing.
No, but I've been bit by lizards and snakes, and so has he. I've been attacked by more animals that he's been attacked by.
The stingray is sort of his thing, though.
That was the thing that led to his ultimate demise. So the true Steve Irwin heads don't count stingrays as one of his animals. That's his adversary.
Well, we're going from Middle America.
Well, I guess my enemy's enemy is my friend or something.
So what are you friends with the stingray now?
No, I'm enemies with the stingray. So the enemy of the stingray.
Oh,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So like kind of, I guess kind of you could be friends with Steve Irwin or something.
Yeah.
But so would I.
There it
Like,
is.
he'd like
Sort
me
of.
too.
Yeah, but like imagine we both die and go to heaven and we're hanging out with Steve and then you're like, yeah, I caught some lizards. And then I was like, dude, I got stung by a stingray. He'd be like, yo.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not
That
gonna
is
be, but it's not gonna be fair because you.
do the voice.
It's not gonna be fair because you're gonna get there way sooner than me, so you're gonna have all this like rapport built with him. It's gonna be like, oh shit, you guys have been hanging out for 40 years together. Okay.
Yeah, I know because I died from the stingray.
Yeah, we still don't know if you're allergic.
Yeah,
Show
you still
everybody
could
your
die.
foot.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah.
No, you might
Go
actually
with the
get water on the board.
It's currently in a sting. My foot is currently soaking in this sting. Because that was the other thing. I was like, do you guys get a lot of these? And he's like, yeah, we had a couple already today. And then I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then he goes, yeah, we have bags.
Yeah,
and then he motioned to this.
It's very funny though to treat like they see stingray stings every day, multiple a day. This is crazy that they just have this.
Yeah.
It's funny because they like
this is like a cool. I'm gonna put my lunch in this bag. It's like hot bag.
Yeah.
It's like it like keeps
Your
the heat
foot bag.
in.
Yeah. These bags exist for other things, but they're like, no, we need them to be stingray decaled.
Yeah, I've been soaking my foot this whole time.
In chicken noodle soup. Kind of weird.
Ugh. Yeah.
It is weird though.
Blur that out.
Yeah.
They see so many stingray stings every day, but most of the people there getting stung by stingrays, it is their first time being stung by a stingray.
Yeah.
For these people to have no bedside manner about it, it's like you work at a fucking beach.
Dude, the guy goes, yeah, we've had like a couple already today. And then I was like, and then I was like, oh yeah, but like, was I like the most chill about it? He's like, what?
He's like, you've been the most annoying about it for sure. The most little jokey jokes about it. Yeah. If that's chill to you, then.
I just can't imagine that someone was like not like. I feel like we had to be the most chill about it because like I feel like someone would be super distressed, like freaking out, getting their shit.
I feel like a lot of the people though that go there, when they say like, "Oh, give us your medical information," they just answer the questions instead of trying to make it a whole silly game, and that's could be perceived as not chill.
It was hurting. I mean, I feel like we were in the best position because I was like, yeah, that kid is going to go get all my stuff for me and he's going to drive over here and then we're going to go to his house. And then he was like, okay.
we were expecting
awesome.
him to be like, hell yeah, high five. Wow.
No, I expected
you
him.
handled this the best.
Yeah, that's what I did. That would have been good.
Dude, this is back to the, oh, never mind.
Especially when he brought the ice cream. I was like,
and another funny thing about it was like John was like, wait, dude, like Luke, can I hold your hand? Like while I put my foot in this hot water, like it hurt so bad. Can I hold your hand? And I was scared. I was like, dude, you're about to like shatter my hand. Like, we're about to have 2 injuries now that the lifeguards are gonna have to deal with. And I like give him my hand to hold, and then it's like the lightest, most gentle squeeze, but like it seems like he's really going into it. Like it seems like his hand is shaking. Hard. Your hand was shaking because you were squeezing so hard, and it was like literally felt like a marshmallow wrapping around my hand. You could squeeze harder if you want.
Cut that
out. You're just very gentle giant.
The more we do this podcast, the more I learn like what unrealistic or like expectations you have for the way people are going to react to you doing things. Was it too far from my mouth?
No, I was going to squeeze your hand.
Oh.
To show you I could really fucking.
It probably would have hurt me more because my hands are so small. I would have.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that, but true.
I got big old hands, so maybe that's why.
Compared to mine, yeah.
Honestly, Luke has bigger hands than you, and he is literally a foot shorter than you.
Dude, that really hurt when Channing's were bigger.
That was funny.
Because he's fucking 4'11".
Yeah, Channing is small.
But no, John, you just like expect people to react so like, oh, John's here with like everything that happens. And it's crazy how you're 26 years old and you still haven't like realized that that's not the case. You're like disappointed when the lifeguard's not like, whoa, this is the coolest guy ever to get stung by a stingray. He's making my day better. Let me bring him treats.
Yeah, I did think I was making his day better.
We were being hella funny. They just weren't laughing, which is weird.
I feel like a dick for saying that.
Dude, we were being so funny.
We were joking about the medical documents.
Yeah, he said I was allergic to stingrays.
We were joking about where we had to go.
I was like, wait, I gotta call somebody. And you're like, it's like.
We asked if we were being mad chill about it. They didn't answer. We asked how old they were.
Yeah, they did not answer. I was trying to connect, trying to bond.
It was really funny because it was like they were kicking us out. Where he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to put all your stuff in your car and like go home." I was like, "Okay, like when?" He's like, "Literally right now." Like, take your shit,
you were like running back and forth,
here.
and then he like grabbed the bag and he was like, "Okay, put this in your car." And then Luke was like, "I gotta grab one more thing." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, like, get out of here,
you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So then finally we like walked over and like even like Luke wasn't even back in. He was like, "Okay, I think you could go sit in the car now," because the car was like sitting right there and Luke was going to get stuff from the beach, and he's like, "I think you could go now." And I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "Let's go." And then he like sort of helped me. He was like, "Let me help you," and then he didn't do anything except open the door for me. I was like, "Okay." So then I got in and he helped. He was actually nice. He kept giving me cool water, you know. But then,
also I came over while you're sitting in the car. And there's a cop talking to him.
This cop drove up. Yeah, this cop drives up and he looks in from his car and he's like, "Stingray?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my God. Oh, jeez." And I was like, yeah. He's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then he was like, "Yeah, there's a bunch of them, like a bunch down south." I was like, "Do you know a lot about stingrays, or are you like flabbergasted that I got stung by the stingray?"
This guy's trying to sympathize with you,
dude,
man.
He's like, I was like, "Are you a stingrayologist, or are you a fucking, or do you not know anything?"
I also just
Did
like
you tell him that your mom was a cop?
I should have.
Yeah, that was the one time you should have.
The one time where the guy would be like, "No way, I'm a cop."
I would have been like, "Guess what? I got stung by a stingray, and my mom's a cop." Like, what?
No fucking way.
This guy is awesome. And then the one person who dabs you up and like thinks you're the greatest guy ever is a cop, and everyone thinks you're like,
Dude, that guy would have killed the stingray for me if I told him my mom was a cop. The stingray stung me, and I was like, "Do you know who my mom is?" I was so pissed.
Yeah, the stinger was like, "Yeah."
Dude, cut that out. That was not funny.
That's actually why I stung you. I know your mom's a cop.
Yeah,
the stingray was actually in Antifa.
Okay, there we go. That was better than I was gonna say. I was gonna name one of them.
Name one of the Antifa members.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Do you think the stingray targeted you on purpose? Do you think that it was like a...
I think it was racism.
There was a ton of people around us too. Like, we were the first person in that area.
Yeah, the guy kept going, "I'm so surprised," because there was so many... There was so many waves, and like the stingrays usually are not around, and like when they hate the vibrations. I was like, I don't know what to tell you
about stingrays. All the stingrays I've met love vibrations.
There was so many people around us.
I don't
and they
think
were all white.
Yeah.
They were like, "Ooh, that one's probably got the best seasoning."
I think your foot just looked the most like a fish or something.
Do you think that he was trying to skewer your foot like on a spit for like to make El Pastor?
Oh, I'm just thinking back to the moment because I definitely stepped on him. Is what happened.
Yeah.
Because I felt him move and then I was like, ah.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like,
That's why you got to shuffle.
But then how was I laying on the board? Because when you were pulling me in, I was laying on the board. I was like I was honestly the most comfortable on the board. After the whole day, after the stingray stung me, after the stingray stung me, I jumped on the board and was like paddling in.
Yeah, he's like, you surfed it.
I surfed it.
Oh my god, he's doing it. He's crying.
Yeah, the stingray stung me, and I'm like, I gotta get back to shore. I was like fucking carving up. Luke was like, what?
Everyone's like, John.
Everyone's cheering on the beach. Dude, the lifeguards probably would have respected you then.
You just wake up after blacking out, and it's like, John,
I'm in the emergency room.
Did I surf it?
It was all a dream.
Did I do it? Did I stand?
In reality, I got stung, and I was like, like you like carried me to shore.
You passed out because the sand was so hot.
Right when we got there,
You didn't even get stung.
we never even went in the water.
Yeah.
I wake up right now.
You got like a rock in your sandal in the parking lot.
A rock in the sandal. But yeah, so we get in the car, and it's like, kind of awkward vibes of like he's like near death basically at this point. And he's like, dude, I'm gonna be honest, and I expect him to be like, you're gonna need to take me to the ER. Like I feel like that's what the tone of what he's gonna say is like, I'm like really fucked up. And we're in the car, and he's like, he looks at me, he's like, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, dude. I'm really hungry. Like I could eat right now.
He's like, all that being stung by a stingray really took it out of me.
Yeah.
I was like, can we get some fucking stingray tacos, dude? I was pissed.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
Probably good.
I was like, I'm reclaiming the stingray.
Hell yeah.
It was so funny.
So you guys went to the cafe?
Yep. Represent.
Yeah, the place that you like didn't want to tell me about because you're like, you'll have no idea what it is.
I forgot you were from Venice. So
Yeah, he was gatekeeping the cafe from you.
No, I share it with everyone, dude.
Bleep when we say cafe.
Yeah, believe it out. It's secret.
Actually, yeah, because it's like the only place in the Palisades where you can get a meal for less than $35.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go to Erewhon.
We can go if you want. Like, there's some stuff that's affordable.
Should we do like live? Should we live pod in Erewhon?
We set this up in the middle of Erewhon. Dude, I was at Whole Foods. Yeah, I was at Whole Dude, there's this Whole Foods and Bellaterra that's like right on the border of like Huntington and like Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so there's some characters.
I don't know what any of those streets mean, but what kind of characters?
It was like, how when it was like
bougie or shady characters?
Shady.
Oh, nice.
Like the 405 is kind of like the 10, if that makes sense. Like, how when you're going down from West Hollywood and then you hit the 10 and then the other side of the 10 is like,
I mean, there's different. The 10 goes from the beach to fucking.
But you know what I mean.
I don't. I genuinely.
I don't know freeways at all.
Oh
so.
my god.
I know that, but like what part of the 10? Because there's parts of the 10 where both sides are super nice.
Like the part where the Mid City Yacht Club is.
Okay, so it's like mid city around there.
Yeah.
We talking 951?
Like it's like when you drive fucking from West Hollywood. It's like when you drive from West Hollywood to Mid City. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like right on the border. So it's like still in Huntington, but like some people come to that fucking place. And so I was like eating a sandwich. I was with Gabe, and then these two people come in and they're just like looking around, being all sketchy, and then they like move seats, and then this guy's on like a Zoom call. Like, he opens up a Zoom call on his like iPad. He's like just starts taking this like, at a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, I've done that, and it was the most embarrassing thing ever. So yeah, I'm just gonna go to the Starbucks and do my Zoom meeting there, and then it's like you realize that like you're in a Starbucks, like people
it's
ordering.
loud as shit.
Dude, one time my therapist, because I did like phone therapy, and I was like driving to Disneyland one morning, and I like answered the phone, and he's like, "Are you in a car with other people?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, John
Thank
Daniel,
God.
do you understand that that's so unprofessional and like we can't do this? And I was like, why not?
Now, okay, here's an honest question. I want you to answer it honestly. Do you now, in hindsight, understand that like he was correct in saying that?
Well, here, I'll actually tell, if you want the real story, the Disneyland plans are last minute, and you have to cancel a therapy appointment 24 hours in advance, or else he'll charge me the full money. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it, and when he says no, then I'll just be like, then he'll charge me the regular price. Because I've missed appointments before, and I'll be like, could you just tell him that I came? And he's like, you want me to do insurance fraud? And I was like, yeah.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a little.
I was like, why can't you just tell them that I did the appointment?
It seems like you need therapy, bro.
Because with my dad's insurance, it was $11 for an appointment, and without it, it's like 100 something.
Yeah.
So if I missed the appointment, he charged me 100 something. That's why I did the Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's why I
thing.
called him, and then he was like, "We can't do this." I was like,
So it's your
it sounds
call?
like you're ending this.
Yeah. Okay. But I would, it's not insurance, so you're not going to tell them I didn't show up. I'm fucking here, aren't I?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, so put that down.
Yeah.
I was like, so if I showed up.
I confirm for my records.
Yeah. You're recording this, right?
Dude, my therapist at one point was like, I'm gonna record your session. He's like, is it cool if I record your sessions and then like I'm gonna show them to my boss and like he's gonna like review my therapy based on like I want to pick you as like one of the people and like that he'll like look at it with. And now I'm thinking about it, like I was probably just so fucked up. He was like, I need to show this guy the word like.
Is it cool if I show all my friends? Like, what? He's like,
Yo, dude.
my boy.
Some wild shit in the last one. Is it cool if I show my boys?
I got a good editor. She'll edit some clips together and
Yeah.
put captions on it.
I'm starting like a YouTube channel where I animate some of my therapy sessions.
Animate.
Is that chill?
It would be funny if your therapist was like, yo, I'm starting a podcast. Like, would you be chill? Like, just be doing therapy.
Your
on the
therapist
pod.
just is the therapy gecko.
Yeah.
He was pretty. It was pretty interesting, like to learn a lot. Because like when I first moved to LA, one of the first jobs that I worked on was like doing this true crime show, and we had to like interview people like associated with like the area and stuff. And one of the true crime cases that we were doing was that case with that kid who like I think her name was Megan something.
The Megan's Law person?
No,
trainer.
No, it was in South Bay, Massachusetts. It was like a kid who like killed himself, and like the girlfriend like
Oh yeah,
convinced
she
convinced
texted
him to do it. Yeah,
Oh,
and
hell
he like he didn't. I don't think he knew people, but he like is a therapist from Boston, and like knows about South Boston. So I was like, dude, would you like be down to like be on this like show and like be one of the interview people who like ask you like, how does it like what kind of like toxic relationship this was? And he was like, no, he's like that's like super unprofessional. if I was on your show.
That's so
like,
funny. You have
like,
him and
what?
like in the little bottom corner where it says who it is, it just says John's therapist.
It's also like, no.
I was like, this is your big break, dude.
Yeah.
No, dude, it'll be really funny. Don't worry, I'll make it funny.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna animate
It wasn't
it.
funny.
We'll make it funny.
We're gonna do an animated
This is
portion of the
serious,
girl
serious.
convincing him to kill himself.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Like,
you
no,
can do the voiceover.
It sounds awful. Like, no, it'll be hilarious. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Do you do therapy, Luke?
No, of course not. Look at me, dude.
Yeah, everything's perfect up in Mr. fucking Palace.
No, I was gonna say the opposite. That it's like I clearly, if I went to therapy, I'd be a little more well-rounded.
Luke is like fine. I told him about how I punched a hole in a wall,
yeah.
and he's like I could never like he's like I could like he's like if I was just like mad like I wouldn't do. And I was like, no, like when you have anger issues, like you like see red and like you like fucking do stuff.
I broke my arm punching a wall.
bro.
Yeah, he's like you do stuff, and he's like
That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, dude, it was in middle school. It was in PE class.
No. What made you so mad that you did it?
Ooh, God, this is.
because Luke is like if I cocked my arm back to punch a wall, I would just be like, oh nah, I can't hurt my hand. And I was like,
literally think I'm gonna break my arm.
You don't think about that when you're fucking
Yeah,
mad.
and sometimes
dude.
when you're mad enough, you're like, I want to hurt my hand.
Yeah.
No, but
Anyway,
so
I'll practice.
this is a very embarrassing story. So we were doing.
Oh my god, your foot looks like shit,
That's just his foot, man.
dude. Whatever it is, it's like it's dying.
Yeah, because
That was another joke I made, by the way, where they're like, be careful because it might get infected. And you're like, okay, what do I do if it gets infected? And like before the guy could answer, I'm like, just go get your foot cut off.
Yeah, I mean, just get a jump start on it, you know.
Yeah, just go to the ER, cut it off. And the guy was like, yeah, no, but going to the ER is probably good. Okay, but yeah, so what's the story about you breaking your arm?
PE at Crossroads, we did a bunch of like weird units where we'd like focus on a specific thing. And we were doing like a couple months of like volleyball.
Okay,
someone
I did
else
that.
someone else caught a lizard you wanted to catch or
Yeah,
something.
No, but last week
I love how you did it during volleyball.
No, last week at the flashback show, there was a lizard in the green room, and Lulu caught it, and I was genuinely kind of upset because someone's like, "There's a lizard in here," and Lulu's like, "I'll grab it," and then just like caught it, and I was like, "Fuck you, that's kind of my thing."
Have you ever had a tail pop off?
You didn't even do the
Really?
You didn't even do the
That's
distracting method.
It hurts me.
Probably hurts the lizard way more.
Yeah, it does hurt me. But no, we were playing this volleyball related game where there's two teams on either side of the net, and each team has one person sitting on the court on the opposite side, and you have to serve it to them, and they're sitting down, and if they catch the ball, that person who served it goes and sits in the next spot, and you like rotate around, and the first team to make a full rotation wins. And we were like beating this team,
of course,
and yeah,
because you're a legend.
Yeah, I'm kind of a ledge, and I'm sitting in the last
is
spot.
Like the John Luna of volleyball, and I'm the John Luna of roast battle. So, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, except I didn't have a John Luna in my corner or an Alex Holliday in my corner for volleyball.
I'm dying to know how this like throwing a ball and catching a game is going to escalate you literally slamming your arm into a wall.
Okay.
I assume in front of everyone in the class, and then breaking your arm, and everyone's just probably stunned, silent, like what the. Also, the way I'm imagining you as a kid is just you look like this but smaller. Like you still have a mustache and long hair as a little kid.
Short hair, no mustache. Couldn't grow a mustache till like 6 months ago.
Okay, I picture you with a mustache.
All
as a
right,
kid,
put up a photo.
Kind of chubby. Yeah, there's going to be an embarrassing picture of me at the top of the Arc de Triomphe. I'm going to pick that one because that one looks the worst. I didn't get no pussy when I was in middle school.
Thank God.
No, so we're playing this game, and the other team, like we're about to win. I'm in the sitting position waiting for someone to serve the ball to me. And this other team's being mad haters because, we're about to
they're losing.
clown them.
Yeah.
And
sort of losers.
they're like fucking with me. And they're like trying to like block the stuff, but like you can't do that at all. And at one point,
yeah, I can sense the anger.
so I'm sitting down.
Do that.
Yeah, no, they're pissing me off because there's one thing about me you got to know. Or two things. I'm extremely competitive, and I follow the rules, and I will make you follow the rules too.
Wow, two terrible traits.
Yeah,
super competitive, rule follower, anger issues.
Yeah, only two of those are bad traits. They serve one to me, and it's coming right to me. I'm about to catch it. We're about to win, and this guy who's been like just being annoying the whole time from behind comes knock it out of the way, and he falls on me.
Oh,
and basically just jumps on me while I'm in a seated position from behind, and that kind of sent me over the edge. That's sort of.
So then
I don't like being touched either.
I got
moment
up,
by moment.
I shook him off me like way too aggressive, already way he was playing around at a 5 or 6, and I'm like, okay, I'm at a 15 now, and I shook him off, and then I got up and cocked up a kick and I was just gonna fucking
the ultimate middle school move of I'm gonna knock you out with a spinning roundhouse kick.
No, it was like a field goal punt on a kid that's sitting down. And I wound it up and swung but stopped it because I was like, I'll get kicked out of this
You're
school
gonna decapitate him
if I knock this kid out. And so I'm fucking fuming, and I kick a ball, and we're in a gymnasium, and you know how under a basketball court or a basketball hoop they have padding on the walls.
Yeah.
It was have you ever been to Memorial Park?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's in Santa Monica. Oh, you're not a hooper, but
he doesn't like sports.
I might have been there but not played basketball.
Yeah, but Memorial Park is where we had PE for this class at Crossroads.
Odd.
And I they have padding behind the walls, but it's a brick gym with that little fucking 2-inch blue foam, and I just punched it as hard as I could because I wasn't thinking about how it's connected to a brick building, and immediately my arm just kind of went
the whole building fell over and fell on your arm.
Yeah. Well, no, because I collapsed the whole building, and then everyone there was like, "Oh my god, that's so sick!" And they were tossing me up. Oh, this is the best. And then one of them didn't catch me, and I put my hand up to catch myself. And
so was it your arm, your wrist split in half, or was it your shoulder?
No, so you have the two bones in your arm.
Yeah.
The bigger one, the one on the inside had a compression fracture. So it's if you crush a paper towel tube, how it
oh my god,
it did that, yeah.
You got fucked up.
Yeah, because
you had a cast
fucking
and everything?
strong as hell. Yeah, I had a cast for 6-8 weeks.
And
whatever.
you'd walk around with a Sharpie everywhere you went, asking people to sign it. And no one would except for your mom.
Did that kid sign it?
No, a lot of people signed it, but that was bad because it was just everyone knew why I had it. There was no question.
That is really funny.
I just had I had a fucking scarlet letter on for 8 weeks.
That is so funny that everyone, because the big allure of someone coming to school with a cast is what happened to the jungle gym or whatever. Meanwhile, everyone's like, yeah, he fucking lost.
Oh yeah. No, that was a real.
Did you cry?
It was that kind of the anger, pain, uncontrolled. There was tears, but it wasn't crying.
That's badass though. I was a big crier until literally probably 14.
I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't.
I thought you were gonna be 4 months ago.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. No, I'll cry from time to time.
When I was a little kid, I used to dream of the days when I'm I can't wait till I'm a big man and don't ever cry.
Yeah.
It seems like just no one cries at a certain point.
Yeah, and you're still dreaming about that?
My grandpa.
No, now I never cry. It's actually concerning.
My grandpa used to pay me money not to cry. He would because my dad would be he's crying so much, and my grandpa would be if you don't cry, by the time I come back, I'll give you $50. And
wow, that's a lot of money too.
And 4 days later, I would just start bawling, crying, and then my dad would be I gotta tell grandpa. I'm no.
Then you cry even more.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you've just been a fucking pussy your whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, that reminds me of the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Pussy.
No, I haven't got. Wait, you can bring it up, but let me say one thing. I thought that I was gonna cry because I haven't cried in a while. So when I got stung, I was like, this is my time to cry. But I want to cry like a stress cry, not like a hurt cry. You know?
Did cry.
Did I?
I mean, it definitely was you were
you weren't crying, you were wailing.
Yeah,
it was just so weird. I had so much adrenaline. I was like,
it was like a whimper.
I couldn't believe that I did this. Basically,
when you step on a dog's foot.
Yeah, it was. It was so funny because also there's a ton of people surrounding us.
Were they looking at us?
Well, no, they weren't looking at us, but they definitely took notice of what was going on, and we were obviously the goobers of the surf group a little bit of just beginner type surfer crew, whatever. And they're like, oh, these guys are going out again after their water break or whatever. And then just instantly you're I got stung by a stingray, and I'm like, no, you didn't. And you raised your foot up, and it was literally looked like a bullet hole through your foot. And I was like, yeah, you totally did. And blood just starts seeping out of it. I was like, oh yeah, 100%.
Dude, I was like, is it bleeding? Sharks are gonna now come and eat me. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean that probably would have happened.
What's this other thing you need to talk about?
What if there's a shark attack there in 2 hours?
Yeah, they're this delicious, sweet blood.
Yeah, then Brandon would have been shark attack.
Yeah.
What are you allergic to? Sharks?
They would have brought out the shark attack trash can. Dude.
Wouldn't it have been so funny though if we went back there, someone got attacked by a shark, and they went up there, and it was oh, you allergic to anything? And they were sharks, and it just kills everyone. And the lifeguards are dying laughing, and they're this guy's fucking hilarious.
They give him an ice cream to go with the shark bucket.
Dude, what
an ice cream?
What a trash can labeled shark.
No, they just come out with an actual shark kit, and it's a whole setup, and they're this is gonna get the pain away right now.
Then reattach his arm.
Here you go, dude. You're awesome.
This is in their emergency shark bite kit. There's just an attractive woman to just comfort you.
Yeah. They're it's dude, we got to fill out this medical document. When's your birthday? They're it just happened. They're oh my god, August 29th. Holy shit, dude.
Fuck, dude, that's my favorite day of the year.
You are so awesome.
Oh, Virgo?
You are definitely the chillest guy that we've seen today. What
was the other guy's name with the fucking dog's name?
Oh,
Wadley.
Yeah, Wadley's dude, you won't even believe this. I'm only 43 years old. Man, I'll give you all my secrets.
He's I'm actually 27, but I just told some fucking loser. Make him feel bad. Make him feel like a fucking fat piece of shit. Not actually 43.
Yeah, he probably. Honestly,
if I was 43.
Yeah, this fucking moron believed it too.
We're just sitting there watching.
Yeah, it's whoa. Yeah, we're sitting there watching, and you're yeah, hey, I actually left my shoes here. And they're yeah, whatever, here's your shit. Get the fuck out. You're I'm actually having an allergic reaction.
we donated it to the Lost and Found. Fuck, get out of here.
You're oh, you mean those red and blue clown shoes?
Those are actually pretty expensive.
Pull up a picture. Pull up the StockX.
You were wearing the Ronald McDonald 7s?
Yeah, pull up the StockX image for the SB Paras, size 13. Isabella, thank you.
Yeah, make sure they're size 13 too, because that makes a difference.
They actually are.
Probably
Size
does make
13
a
is the
difference.
most expensive size.
No way, dude. You stop lying to yourself.
It is.
Who on earth is a size 13?
Exactly, because they make less of them. That's
No.
why it's more expensive.
There's less people who need them.
Yeah, you guys are stupid.
You're a dumb
Actually,
idiot.
Don't call me stupid in this. I don't give a fuck.
I'm about to pour all the water out of your Stingray bag.
I don't know why you're having this argument. It doesn't matter.
Should I say the thing that happened last night? John, first of all, was like super down to sleep over. Like a moment at school where someone's like, "Oh, maybe I'll just sleep at your house," and you're like, "Oh, like okay, I guess that's what's happening." And we went to Third Wheel.
You said you were like, okay, come on, because I was like,
I'm down.
And then you're like, worst case scenario, you don't have to drive down Orange County.
Yeah, it was fine, and it was fun. So
you don't have to justify why you decided to sleep over here, man.
yeah, okay. So he comes over. Yeah, we all know why you slept over. And so he comes
because you wanted to fuck one of your dogs.
Exactly. He loves like the super small dog that I don't like.
Yes, one of his dogs, dude.
Do you think you think John was trying to go to space the way he'd be riding that red rocket?
Dude,
Oh,
that's funny.
that was good.
You just come up with that?
Yeah.
Luke kid.
Luke had has a big dog and a small dog, and I walk in and he's like, okay, this big dog, this is my boy Max, and this small dog Zoe, she's a fucking bitch. I hate her. And then
Really?
Zoe like
I don't
came
hate her.
and then Zoe came up to me and was like,
Yeah, Zoe
and I was like,
so.
I was like, this dog loves me.
Yeah, when I
bitchy.
walked in, Max was barking the whole time, and Zoe was like, "What?"
Yeah,
up?
because he's a protector of the house, and Zoe just doesn't do anything.
He looks
Whatever.
like a warthog.
Yeah, Zoe's
Yeah,
a
he's
fucking
awesome.
Yorkie. She's not supposed to do anything.
Yeah, I guess.
You've got unfair expectations for this dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude,
mean, I
Zoe
do.
is famous.
Yeah. Oh my god. Don't get me started on
Wait,
that.
Zoe's famous?
No, my mom. I was supposed to watch the dogs. I could have watched the dogs in my house in Orange, where I go to school. And my mom was like, "No, you can't do that. Someone's gonna like steal Zoe." And I was like, "Why would someone steal her?" And she's like, "'Cause she's so famous." And I was like, "What? Like my dog is not famous at all. Like, in
Why
no
does
way."
she think your dog is famous?
I don't know. It was like a really weird moment. I was on the phone with my friend. We started dying laughing. I was like, "How is she
What?
famous?" She's like, "You know what I mean." I'm like, "No, I don't."
Wait.
She's like, "Famous." I'm like, "She's not famous in any way." Okay, so basically,
So we stay up until like 4 a.m.
just gabbing,
just talking,
slumber partying, and
we're like in the guest bedroom that I'm sleeping in.
yeah,
And Luke is like, yeah, this is where you're gonna sleep. It's gonna be totally chill. And we're like sitting there, it's cool. And then Luke is like, we like finish the conversation. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go to my room now. Do you want me to turn the light off and stuff? Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
and then John goes, "No, I'm afraid of the dark, so you can't turn the light off. In fact, keep the lights fully on." Fully blasting lights, and it's 4 a.m. It's like pitch black everywhere else in the whole house, and it's like blasting lights. I'm like, "How are you gonna sleep like this?" He's like, "I don't know. You have like a nightlight or something?"
Wait,
I'm like,
what? Because you sleep at my house all the time.
He brought
And
that up.
I turn the lights off.
He was probably really scared every time that happened.
I've been scared a couple times, but it is different. But it is different.
Jesus Christ.
I've been scared a couple times.
Come on,
Jesus Christ.
no,
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Is to catch a predator.
Yo, you
no,
think,
God damn it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
wait.
That was when the Stingray stung me. That's what it sounded like.
that was. No, that was when John was trying to surf and he kept getting distracted by the girl in the bikini.
She was a good surfer. She would like
Okay,
we were
Okay,
both.
no, he's trying to change the subject away from how he's a 26-year-old man who's scared of the dark.
And it gets worse. And it gets worse.
It gets worse?
Yeah, oh, way worse.
John, you really need to fucking grow up, man.
So, well, basically, he's
Well, the thing is, in your apartment, you're like 10 feet away from me. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
it's
2
not
rooms
scary.
away.
Yeah, but like Nick is right there. Like, there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah,
and
but it's good
like
to not have a lot of people near you when you're sleeping.
and
That's
it's like
what I think.
And it's like a small place and stuff. Like, it's like,
But what do you think's gonna happen, man? Do you think someone's gonna kidnap you?
Oh no! I'll tell you what he thought was gonna happen.
Okay.
Because I was like, "Oh, just leave the bathroom light on," and like it was like a nightlight type of vibe. And then he was like, "Yeah," and then I just like start to walk away, and then he just turns the light back on full blast in the whole room. I'm like, "Wow!" He's like really scared. So I'm walking back to our room, and I'm like thinking like, what would really scare the shit out of John right now? So
Hell
then I'm
yeah.
just like, "Yo, dude, honestly, I do have to admit, like, you're fine in there, but like that room is like very haunted." And he literally like walks out of the room and is like, stop, don't even say that, and I was like, no, like it is like 100% haunted. And it was like one of those mistakes that you make where you think it's gonna be like a funny shirk it off thing, and he just walks into my room and like sets up camp on my floor and it gets like a pillow and is like, yeah, I'm sleeping in your room now.
God, you're such a pussy.
well, when he said that, I was like, this will not end well for either of us because I will sleep in your room. And he was like, Damn.
Yeah, I was
But
like,
here's the thing. Okay, just keep. I don't even.
I mean, that's basically it. I just kept messing with him constantly where he would like, I'd be like, no, it's fine. I'm joking. What would ever be haunted in that room? He's like, okay, you're right.
The house in the Palisades.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, dude, it's a nice new house. Like, it's a great place to sleep. You got a whole thing to yourself. Could just go in there. And he went in there, and I was like, but the guy who used to live here did die in the house. And I think he was in that
And it
room.
was-
And he freaked out.
We do still have all the original beds.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wait, but so you're scared of So you're scared of ghosts so much that you can't be in the dark.
I'm also really afraid of like
But-
Bloody Mary, like me.
So you're scared of all the things that like a 12-year-old learns about at sleepaway camp.
Like mirrors and like bathrooms, like still kind of freak me out a little bit.
But have you considered just nutting up and fucking not?
Yeah, last night I went to my own room and slept.
Yeah, but it was after like literally an hour of like trying to coax him down.
But
And being
yeah,
like,
this is just you really do, and I mean this sincerely as your friend. You really need to need to grow the fuck up.
damn.
Like when the person asked his age, John didn't say I'm 26. He went, I just turned 26. Like a fucking, he's like 26 in 1 quarter.
Well, that's like a funny thing to say. It was like we were trying to diffuse the situation, and it was literally like bombing. Like it was like bombing on stage. Where it's like everything he said made it worse. And it ended with like, "Do you like me?" And the guy's like,
Yeah, but what 26-year-old man says this to a 43-year-old man?
but they're like an EMT type of person. You should be like, "Yeah, I like you."
Yeah,
Sure.
I thought he
You
was
should be like, get the fuck off my
Yeah.
beach and go home. I'm not here to hold your hand.
Damn.
I don't know, man. You need a little tough love in your life.
Yeah. So he was really scared in that room also. It was like and I was like, have you ever had like a paranormal experience? And you're like, don't even say that to me right now.
Because I was
Because
like,
he's never had one. That's the crazy thing. He probably never anything even remotely close to anything like that has happened, which makes him more scared of it because he's like, when it does, I'll never be the same.
Yeah, it will be bad.
Yeah, but it's never gonna happen. Here's my philosophy on ghosts, man. If there's a ghost in my house or whatever, I'm chill and respectful, so they're gonna be chill and respectful to me.
Dude, that's not how it works. Some ghosts are just inherently mean.
No. How do you know that? You've met an inherently mean ghost?
I can just imagine because
You've seen scary movies about it?
they're like people. Like there's nice and mean people. Like I'm nice. Like I'm nice,
That's
and you
such
and you.
a young kid way to look at the world. also.
I'm nice,
It's nice
and you
and mean
guys
people.
are mean.
And and no one's tried to kill you in your sleep still, so you should be fine. I don't even know what to say, man. I mean,
You've had a really rough couple hours. That's all I know for sure.
Yeah, I literally just got stung by the stingray.
you should be more scared of stingrays than ghosts. At this point, you've got to at
That's
least
true.
have
What
a
time
reason.
is it? It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
I
we went
literally
for a
got
long
stung
time.
by the stingray at.
Damn, that sucks.
I literally got stung by the stingray at 1:30 today, or 12:30.
Yeah, 12:30.
So basically 12 hours ago, you were laying on the floor in Luke's room, asking him to read you a bedtime
Less
story
than.
so that the ghost didn't come and rape you or
Less
whatever.
than- literally, I would have had more respect if he thought the ghost was gonna rape him. It was literally just like he had no knowledge of what was gonna happen. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's
"What's
just scared
what
that
are you
like
scared of?"
there's gonna be a cool breeze in the room.
And I was like, and he would walk back to his room. I would like talk to him for 15 minutes and be like, dude, seriously, like you're safe, you're fine, everything's like locked in that, like we're all good. Like just go back. And he would start walking back to his room. And I'm like, but if you do hear voices in your head or whatever, like do not answer or like acknowledge them at all. Like there are voices that I hear in there. And it was like immediately he would come back. And
Yeah,
be
that's
like,
not nice. Like you like.
that's funny though.
But that's something you say to like a 6-year-old to get them scared.
Yeah.
Not a 26-year-old. What are you gonna do when you like get your own house?
He said that. He said like he was like literally thinking like I don't think I'll ever be able to like live in a big house ever. He's like and like
Not even a big house, just on his own.
he said like my house is not as scary because my mom is like 10 feet away.
She has a gun.
Yeah, that
My
is
mom's
true.
a cop. She'll kill a ghost if they even think twice.
Yeah, I was like, I probably will just only be able to have an apartment because I've been alone in apartments before and it's been fine. But like, I can't imagine like alone.
You realize
in
an
this
apartment
house,
has more people that come in and out of it, so more chance of ghosts.
alone. If I was alone in this house, I literally.
Good point.
So many people die in apartments. That's where people go to die.
Yeah,
is
they hang
apartments.
themselves and shit.
If I,
My apartment in particular, mostly old people. I'm sure somebody has died in the apartment that I live in. But I'm just like a chill ass dude, so they don't fuck with me.
dude, if I like slept in this house, which I will probably take care of the dog soon. I would. I'm gonna sleep on the couch down here.
You want to sleep on the first floor?
I don't even think that
The
couch could
first-
support you, dude.
The first floor is more dangerous because that's where people like would break in.
That's what I think.
I'm not afraid of break-ins.
That's crazy. You're not scared of something that has been happening at an alarming rate in this city.
People get killed from that all the time.
Yeah, people get murdered. Like in this city, people regularly get broken into and like intervene on a home invasion, and bad things happen. But you're like, no, I'm scared of the fucking a lady wearing a Victorian gown who's gonna appear on my bed and whisper that like the devil wants to see me.
And now what I'm going to do...
John's so uncomfortable by this conversation that he's trying to abruptly end the podcast.
The last thing I'll say is I'm going to do this.
You got to at least play a song about stingrays.
Okay, true.
What is a song about stingrays?
You could play like Ocean Man.
Oh, Ocean Man.
Yeah, which is not you at all.
Yeah.
The Ocean Man hates you.
You know who's the Ocean Man? Fucking Marbles or whatever the fuck that lifeguard's name was.
Wait, real quick. I'll say. Okay. No, you can end it.
No, I want to hear what
I was just going to say, I'm going to trick John to go in like the bathroom and make it seem like we're going to go do drugs or something. And be like, yo, come in the bathroom, blah, 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 go in there somewhere at like a club or something like later. Like he'll forget I said this and then just instantly look in the mirror and be like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And like do whatever you got to do to summon Bloody Mary and see how long it takes you to like smash the door to the bathroom open. Thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Great episode.